Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshakar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Connexia High Flyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, in these episodes, we introduce corporates that is from emerging sectors and make it a point to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies so that all of us can understand their company's business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans in a much better way. And in this process, all our investors get a very good quality kind of information right from the company's promoters, top management, which helps all of us to take a very conscious investment call. And friends, today we are going to talk about another interesting company which is going to hit the capital market very soon. The company's name is Logiciel Solutions Limited. And I have the privilege of having Mr. Umesh Sharma, Managing Director of the company. Umesh ji, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. I think it is my pleasure to host you, and I am quite sure all our investors would benefit from this interview we have today.
Thank you very much, Avinashji, and thanks for having me here. I'm honored and it's a pleasure to be interviewed by
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, Umesh ji, first elementary question which we ask all the promoters, if you could just explain to us in a very simple way to all our investors, sir, what is the broad business model of our company? What do we do? And secondly, what is the kind of present positioning of our company in the domestic market? And one added question, if you don't mind, sir, how did this business journey start as an entrepreneur for you? Was it started by your father, or was it a first generation enterprise which you started? Sir, if you could tell us something about the journey and start.
That's going to be really interesting. I can speak around it a lot, but then considering the time, we'll keep it short. Okay.
Yeah.
Logiciel Solutions came into existence in July 2011. So basically, what this company is, I can summarize it by in couple of lines, and then we can have an explanation around it. So we explain our company as if we go and pitch our company, it is like we are an offshore software engineering partners to multiple funded startups as well as SMBs, small scale businesses. We enable them to create from bring their ideas and let them go into scaling positions, let them create their products to digital platforms, and then scale to the production level. So this is what Logistical Solution has been doing since 2011. So as I said that we primarily our target market is has been funded startups, those startups who have got funding and they have ideas. So we help them work around from ideation stage to the next levels of launching their MVPs, and then to the next level of getting into production, and then scaling them as well. So it's been a long journey, and a lot of clients of ours have actually enjoyed with us throughout this journey. In fact, from the starting of the beginning of Logicel itself. Another segment that we've added to our target market is that is our second ICP, which is small scale businesses as in US North American market. So if I talk of the geography of our clients, so it is purely focused outside India. So we've been working in multiple regions globally, but eventually we focused and got a good traction in North America. So our most of our efforts are focused towards North American market only. Beyond that, the models that we work are, as I said, the whole revenue as of now for Logistical Solution is coming as an export revenue. So 100% exports, nothing in India. So that's how I work. Regarding your second question, how this all started, this is a first generation business for sure. My father is he's retired from municipal corporation as an executive engineer. So but he is a big visionary. I, being hailing from a service class family, was not much into business stuff, but then he had a good vision because he hailed from a business family. He always wanted us to be into business. So now then his vision was something which always ignited us something doing into this direction. We started into education sector since I was an IT graduate, and we started into education initially, and we went to a very good scale in that side. But then a seeded something was always in me that led me into software engineering and development. I wanted to be a software engineer. So eventually, when I got some time, we started focusing into this direction, and eventually, Logiciel Solution came into existence. So, from the important part to be mentioned here is we were able to churn out the best of the talent from our existing students. We tried picking up handpicked students from there and started with this working around, and then we eventually graduated to the next levels, and we were able to mature this model of churning out the strengths from inside these kind of models, which gave us couple of strengths: that stability in our business, long term employeship, staying in our business. That means currently I can say that more than 15% of our employees are 10 years old employees with us. And because of that, the retention of customers was also beyond and with an average of 5 years and plus. So this
Okay.
has been our great credit throughout, and which adds to our margins as well, because we have homegrown talent coming in. सो वो जो टैलेंट है उनका उतना ज़्यादा डिमांड इनिशियली नहीं रहता है, एंड इन ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ टाइम दे ग्रो विद अस एंड दे कंट्रीब्यूट. तो 6-7 साल में वो भी अच्छा ग्रो करते हैं, हमें भी मार्जिन कमाने का मौका मिलते रहता. तो ये मॉडल को वी हैव गॉट रियली मैच्योर्ड अराउंड दिस. आई होप
Okay.
दैट आंसर्स योर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन.
No, no, I think it was very well articulated, Umesh. Umesh,
थैंक यू.
now next question is, I was seeing, from your prospectus that you all are into various business verticals. Just let me read it out. Like you all are into basically custom software development, big data analytics, then
या
software testing, viable product mobile application. So if you could just tell us in brief, for the benefit of our viewers, what are these segments? Are these segments, technologically some, high value added segments where a lot of customization goes? As you said, you work with a lot of startups. So if you could give us a brief profile of what work the company is doing in these segments, for the benefit of our viewers.
Yeah, sure. See, to explain it in bit simpler manner. So it's like we tried offering end-to-end services to our startups and SMBs,
Correct.
end-to-end service. And in
Correct.
due course of time, when we specialized into all these services, end-to-end services, there were certain services which we were doing really, really well. We had good expertise acquired. So we started giving those services as a add-on services to different customers as well. So if I categorize them in a way that if a customized software development is an end-to-end service which includes starting from discovery phase, mobile application development, web application development, then UI UX services and QA services. These are bundled up under customized service development bucket.
Correct.
And then because we were doing well with these services, the other customers wanted to have separate specialized services under QA testing, automation,
Yeah.
then UI UX designs, and so on. Apart from that, we diversified into additional service called into cloud engineering. We are AWS partners currently, and we are offering these services as specialized services on cloud front as well as DevOps front.
Okay.
So I hope I was able to put in the things
No,
right in
fine.
a
I
simpler
think
manner.
very simply explained by you. Umesh,
Mhm.
now you said you cater largely to the startups, and give them a kind of a bundled customization, kind of, services. So apart from
Yeah,
these startups, any other marquee customers which you cater, because we just want to understand what is the profile of your company's
yeah,
customer base. Apart from
yes,
startups, do you have any well-established software companies or maybe some marquee customers which you have been catering for so many years? Like, if you could please tell us.
definitely. So one thing that I missed in explaining my first question, when what was the history, so it would have actually included this answer as well. So we started with startup kind of companies, and eventually these companies grew into bigger organizations. They scaled up to a very big, larger customer base, and we were lucky to see our homegrown end-to-end product created for our client getting acquired by a new venture capitalist at a very whopping price of $40 million. So that was done. We started with this client in 2013, and he sold this product in 2022 to another venture capitalist named Nexa Capital. So they bought this up at $40 million, and then they retained our whole manpower alongside with them, and we are still currently the customer to the same client. So it's been around 12 years working with them. They are the enterprise level customers. Beyond that, we also added another real estate giant, as we work for a real estate giant of US, which is the largest real estate company of US, called Keller Williams.
Okay.
So we worked for their flagship product called Command, which was kind of providing digital platform for their 1.75 lakh agents of this company, for their digitalization, for managing their digital media. So this was a flagship product. We worked for around 6 7 years with them. So that is an
Correct.
enterprise level client. We worked
Correct.
from startup, and that I graduated to the enterprise level. So this journey has been catering to startups, and then eventually they graduate to the next level. We also graduate to the
Correct.
next level.
Okay.
Apart from that, we from last 3 years we've added another segment of SMBs as well. Those who already have established product in the market, and then we give them support of dedicated teams alongside. If they want to expand, we can just come in and fit into their team, existing team, and build up another features for them. Generally, expansion for them and downsizing becomes a little difficult, but the history has been quite graceful that we've been able to retain our customers more than 5 years on average.
Okay. Okay. I think very nice to hear. Umesh, now tell me one thing, like on a very, very broad level, can we expect that we have at least 50 to 75 active customers with us? I mean, typically we just want to know what is the depth of kind of customer profile, in so many years, how many active customers do we have? And secondly, I was observing one, important point in your prospectus. One of your customers has got a very large single exposure. I think one of your risk factors says that almost 50-60% comes from one customer. So is
That's
it
true.
strategically decided that this customer is going to give us a lot of business, so we depend on that customer, or basically you plan to diversify the risk going forward? If you can please tell us.
Yes, yes, sure. So regarding this one, I'll start with this customer first. So this is the same customer I'm talking about, which we onboarded since 2013, and
Okay.
graduated, got sold to the next level, and then team was still retained. So the point is here, this customer has grown with us. They have seen our work. They have been, seeing the loyalty and the persistence of our team, because our team members are also quite old with us. So because of that intellectual property and intelligence with us, they always wanted to have our team retained with them. It is a retainership model, dedicated team. So end-to-end product is still being developed, still being grown, and the next company has also grown with us. Deploying even more bigger manpower, and deploying, graduating to AI buzz as well. So now, since we are an AI first company, we tried doing all our coding and development, taking AI concepts first, and then switch to manually in case AI is incapable of handling that part. So because of that capability added into our profile, our existing this customer was able to increase more manpower and build up AI features into their products. So
Okay.
as far as strategically saying, yes, there is a good dependency, but then this is a continuing customer which is looking to sell it off, this the same
Okay.
product in another 500 million. We
Okay.
are looking to graduate to US market with the physical presence, and that is why we are looking to go for IPO market. And for sure, we want to have such big customers
Okay.
going, giving us broader base. As of now, our whole business is a kind of mostly relying upon reference business and in-house marketing being done, but then outbound marketing is yet to start with.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, understood. I think very nicely articulated by you. Umesh, now tell me one thing. Financials apart, we'll ask the questions later on. But typically in our business, what is the key differentiator when you talk to a client? Like you said, you've been with this company for a very long time. So what could be the key two, three qualitative aspects which you add value? Like obviously every customer sticks on to a vendor only when he finds value. So, if
Absolutely.
I were to ask you, what are the things which actually differentiate you, in terms of your service, in terms of your skill sets? If you could tell us two, three qualitative points which can help us understand your company's DNA better.
So I would say that these are our USPs, which has always been helpful for us to close the new clients always and retain the existing clients. That has been like as I said that we in due course we started focusing on funded startups. Eventually, because of this good time spent with these startup founders, we were able to bring out good amount of standard processes around the whole ecosystem that which is required for startups to build up from ideation stage to production stage. So because of those standardizations and value added processes, we are able to conclude number of others new clients who are either referenced by our existing clients or coming from the leads. So that has been our strategy. Normally, we've been looking for expanding through our clients only. So the reference model has really worked for us. So once a reference is there, you're already 40, 30, 40% sold. And rest, because of our processes and experience around the ecosystem that we've created, it works really, really well for us. So that's
Okay.
been our USP throughout. Yeah.
Okay.
And just to add
Understood.
in, because of
Yeah.
retention of our manpower, they stay a good amount of time with us because of our culture. So that also gives a good synergy and good confidence to our clients. So their retention is ensured by this kind of culture that we've been able to
Okay.
bring into the company.
Fine. So basically, retaining quality talent and getting references, and obviously by doing skillful work has helped the company going forward.
Yeah.
Umeji, now let's talk about the financials. I think we have seen a reasonably good performance in FY25. I was seeing your revenues have totaled almost 20.9 crores compared to almost 17 crores. And the profit after tax has also been up to almost 5.5 crores, which was earlier 3.97 crores. So just tell
Mm.
us, what were the key highlights of the year? I mean, top line has grown reasonably well, bottom line has also grown well. So what were the key reasons the profitability moved up pretty well? What were the key drivers for this profitability? If you could please tell us.
Sure, sure, sure. So, one part that contributed to increasing the top line and bottom line, obviously, it was like for every couple of years, we have a policy of increasing the pricing with our existing clients. So, our major client, which got acquired by Nexa Capital. So, in that space, we were able to increase the prices with them. That was already committed once in 2022. It was acquired. It was destined to be increased in 2024. One. Second, because we are able to have more clients onboarded and we are able to command higher rates now because of our reference model and otherwise. So those have contributed much into increasing
Okay.
this. But we are really hopeful because of the way we are heading and all standardization. I think we'll be able to command even higher rates with our clients,
Okay.
newer clients. Yeah.
Fine, understood. Umidji, now going forward, what is the kind of outlook on margins? Without giving a number, if you could at least tell us in a descriptive way, we are already in the month of November now for
Mhm.
FY26. What is
Yeah.
your thought process? Will this year be another good year for us? Again, telling you very clearly, we don't want any numbers, projections, but just from a, outlook strategic point of view, what kind of
Mhm.
performance can we expect for the year FY26? And is this business a order book business? So, if there is, and we should, I mean, I would like to know what is the kind of order book which we have in the pipeline. If you could,
Sure.
tell these inputs, it would be really be beneficial.
Yeah. So I'll be talking on two points. One is order book, and other is like what kind of things we see in
Yeah.
how this is going to grow. Considering the market conditions since last past 1 year, there have been ups and downs, but we were able to do fairly well, and were able to, considering those situations, we were able to onboard kind of 4 to 5 new clients this year itself, which generally start from a very small thing, like they come up and do discovery part with us, and then they start onboarding 3 or 4 team members, and then they grow. So 3 of them have started getting into a phase of improving that POC. They are moving into a MVP direction, so that team is increasing. Couple of them are still in discovery and POC state. So we are fairly satisfied with the past data that we, in this whole 1 year, we are able to onboard with all these wins, which have been, courtesy US and everything that has been happening.
Correct.
So we are doing fairly well on that side, and we hope generally our uh, you know second half is more productive, because there
Correct.
are new budgets which are allocated by all budgeting goes in around November and December. Americans, they go into chutti mode, and then once they come back, they deploy a good amount of resources into this. So we're expecting a kind of 30% raise, 25 to 30% raise in our revenues throughout.
Umesh, now let's talk about the working capital side. Typically, in our business, what's the kind of working capital cycle? Because we are in the IT business. What is the
Yeah.
kind of normal working capital cycle for us from our US customers? How does the cash flow, take place? What is the rough time we get collections from customers?
So that's been a very strong reason of focusing into North American market, because we worked in other countries as well. But then the payment cycles from North American market has been really, really very pleasing and very fluent. So we have these order books mentioned that to the extent of 2.5, it lands in between. So it is the primary model that we work for these revenue is dedicated teams, which is a retainership model. So kind of 85% of our revenue is coming from this model only, which is like deploying teams to our clients, and then per month revenues are fixed revenues coming from them. So generally it can vary, like they sometimes deploy one resource more or less, but then more or less a minimum kind of team members are already deployed. So in case require more services or some newer services in cloud or something, it gets increased or decreased based upon the services ending up. So if I
Okay.
say that it is monthly basis, it is quite seamless, and the working capital generally which we require as of now, is primarily focused on to salaries as well as subscriptions that we have. So it increases and decreases with the amount of manpower that we onboard. So uh,
Correct.
it is currently something which might vary to some plus x plus something, because our primary objects is having more HR coming in. So once we onboard more HR from IPO proceeds, so this is going to change. So I cannot give
Okay.
a clear projection on that side, because this is going to change as such. The capex will also change. The working capital will also change. I can define some number which is current, if that's required.
No, that's fine. The reason why I asked you, Umesh ji, is that in the last 2 years, business has grown, profitability has grown. You all have done definitely good work, but somewhere from a financial angle, I think as a promoter you must be aware of this. From a financial angle, we have seen that last 2 years cash flows have been negative. Operating cash flows have not been
True.
positive. So I think your point is right that hopefully once the public issue money comes in, then maybe the working capital cycle could get little better.
There
Just
is
one
an
question which I wanted
interesting.
to ask you, which is also a little important, from the investor's point of view. There are some
Sure.
old debtors, Umesh ji. I think you must be aware. I was just seeing that debtors which are not yet paid for the last 1 to 2 years. Now this is something like around 5 odd crores. Now what is the status on these debtors? Are we sure that this money will come? I mean, if you could
Mhm.
give us a background about this, customer, because finally money is money. We require the cash flow. So, sir, what is the
Exactly.
kind of expectation that will it come in the next financial year to us? Obviously, it's our own money which is lying yet unpaid from the
Absolutely.
customer side.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Avinashji, both the questions are related. Your earlier question on working capital,
Yeah,
where you said that the
exactly.
cash flow is negative and there are debtors. So, it is regarding the same kind of customer where it was an intentional decision. This is an old customer which is working into an energy sector, and
Yeah.
we've developed this product, and it is almost at a point where now he is looking to launch this product. So at a
Okay.
good space, we were given a chance by the client that if you want to have an equity into this or you want to invest into this, we can go ahead. But as of now, because I have to lend into the market, immediately I cannot allocate the equity straight away. So
Correct.
there was a setting which was done with him of investing like 5 lakh US dollars as a convertible note, which is all documented and all legal documentation has been done. So basically, it is something which we are looking to grow really, really fast because energy
Okay.
sector is a very promising sector, and an investment in this sector. And the client is really, really very intelligent and an influential person. He's been working as a consultant into renewable energy in US. So now he's coming up with this product. It was a chance that we got, and we thought of investing
Okay.
into it, and that too through our services. So
Okay.
there was a profit margin per se in it as well. So
Okay.
it was intelligent investment and it was intentional investment, and I think this
Okay.
is going to give a boost to the revenues of Logicel as such. And
Okay. Understood.
that
I
was the
think
reason.
point
Yeah.
taken. So, Umesh ji, now the most important question of this interview, we are going public, so it's a big achievement for you, your team. Your efforts
Thank
are
you.
finally getting paid off. Sir, just
It
tell
is.
us what is the amount of capital we plan to raise, and what's the main objective of raising this money?
Yeah. So I can come on to how this all started thinking about IPO. Uh, because we had been working in US market since ages, but we never had any physical presence as of now. Because having physical presence in US is mandatory, and that's the way to grow. And on the other side, it is normally very expensive. So as far as having our small 1 or 2 member team there is not a big deal, but having new orders coming in from there is a very expensive affair. To an extent of that, if we have to hire a sales team, one salesperson, a good experienced salesperson generally cost around 1.5 lakh dollars US dollars in a year plus commission and something. Generally, it is an equivalent 1.5 lakh dollars base salary and similar amount as a commission. So
Okay.
it comes around kind of 1.5 or 2 crores for one single person. And you cannot go with only one person straight away, and then you have to establish an ecosystem for them to work, because that person alone would not do anything. He would have some battery, some people who are driving him with leads, who are
Correct.
helping him to close those leads and so on. So this affair of having an ecosystem is a really expensive thing, which we thought of doing it multiple times, but because there are multiple funds and good amount of funds required, so we always hesitated to start it. We tried doing it in earlier years, but because of intensity of level of amounts required, so
Correct.
we had to pull it back. So that's the reason we went into IPO. So from if I talk of IPO, thing that what are the areas in which IPO proceeds would be invested? It will be like having marketing, sales and marketing team, partially in US and partially in India established. And second part is having more physical infrastructure being developed in India as well, because once we start having leads coming in, new clients coming in, we'll require expanding delivery team as well. And then we are investing into R&D as well, which is it will be invested into AI, developing AI services and product expertise. And second part would be into kind of
So fine. So
robotics.
basically,
So,
Umesh ji, just one
sorry.
clarification. Will some money be used for working capital also?
Yes, working capital would be there. Yeah, because once we start scaling, there'll be some part of it which, a kind of a battery or a layer is required, which ensures scaling, which ensures quality while scaling. As of now, that
Okay.
layer of senior account managers, quality insurers, they are not there with us because they are quite expensive. And as of now,
Yeah.
immediately if that we hire them, we won't be able to pass on that cost to our clients straight away, existing
Correct.
clients.
Correct.
So we'll be trying and blending that cost to the newer clients. So for some time we require that support of affording that senior layer with us. So that's the working capital we require.
Umeshji, now last question for today. I think we have asked you a lot of questions on the business, on the strategy. Tell
Yeah.
us one thing that you operate in the US market, sir. What is the most important risk for us? Like typically, for our business, is it the service? Is it the execution? Is it very short timelines? Where you got to deliver on projects. What is the most important risk according to you in this business, and how have you optimally managed to manage this risks so well up till now? So if you could please tell us.
So the most important risk is not having physical presence of our sales team in US. That's been a challenge. As of now, we've been
Okay.
able to pull it off by mode of our references, good work, and otherwise. But now, as we want to grow faster, I think that presence of having our sales team as well as some tech team there ensures a good level of retainership and bringing in new clients and have a
Okay.
bigger revenue models coming in. So
Okay.
that's the reason we are going IPO.
Okay. So basically, please correct me if I'm wrong, Umeshji. It means the runway is very large. You got a very strong runway for growth, but you
Yeah,
obviously require some funding to establish a physical presence in the US market. So that's the
exactly.
constraint, and I think which will possibly be solved by the public issue. So hopefully, things should get better once the IPO is complete. So, sir,
Yeah.
Umeshji, thank you very much. I think it was my pleasure to host you, and all our investors would also benefit from this interview. So once again, wishing you, your entire management team, and best wishes for your public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was nice and a pleasure talking to you, Avinachi. A lot of
Yeah.
insightful questions, and thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.